free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the dog, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still he answered the call. And we said, be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Daniel Show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Daniel Show.
Welcome to another episode of the Officer Tatum Show. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a whole bunch of crazy stuff to talk about. First and foremost, Donald Trump is whooping him over the head. I don't know why they still interview Donald Trump as if they're going to get a one-up on him at some point. It's all free advertisement. Then Daniel Penny, not guilty, baby. Not guilty. I told y'all. Y'all remember? I told y'all. I said it. I mean, I don't think I get a pat on the back because Stevie Wonder can see that there's no way in the world that Daniel Penny should go to jail for what happened, what transpired. Somebody got mad at me the other day because I said Daniel Penny was a hero, and I stick by that. Anybody want to challenge me on that? Bring it on. Also, they believe that they found a person responsible for taking the life of the CEO of UnitedHealthCare, and there's a lot of controversy around it. A lot of people are glad he's gone. I'm not that type of person. I need to do a little bit more research because I don't think healthcare system is inherently evil. I think it can be used for evil. I think some people do evil things with it. But at the end of the day, if you eating hot Cheetos every day, you can't get mad because they didn't rejected you. All right. How about you live a better life by making yourself making better, healthy decisions with the things you consume and put in your body. Okay. Let's start with Daniel Penny. Many people that know that are on this channel that we supported Daniel Penny from the very beginning. And it's not because Brandon Tatum, the bootlegging coon, sell out Uncle Tom, hate his own skin color. It's because I know right from wrong. I know good from evil. I'm a pragmatist. I can see that when a crazy deranged man, no matter what color he is threatening to take the lives of people, and he's saying he don't care about living and all this other stuff, and he's aggressive, and everybody's feeling the heat, and everybody's afraid of him, and only one man decided he's going to do something about it. I know there ain't nothing wrong with that. So Daniel Penny decides to do what he did, held the guy down for 6 minutes. And this is the thing that I always have controversy with when people bring up the choke thing. There's only two types of chokes, in my opinion, and everything else is just a hold. Everything else is just restraint, resistance. It's not a choke to me. There's the carotid choke, and then there's the choke of the esophagus, which cuts off the air supply. When you choke somebody here, is what you see in MMA, mixed martial arts, UFC fights. They do them here. That cuts off the blood supply to the brain, and man, you can't go no more than, I don't know, 30 seconds. I don't even think you can go 30 seconds. You do it right. You see them tapping. They tapping within seconds of that blood flow getting cut off to the brain. You pass out almost instantaneously. And then you have the one of the esophagus, right? Where you cutting off the person's air supply. The human brain can go about 3 minutes without oxygen before it begins to deteriorate and die. And it becomes fatal at that point. So if you're really choking a guy, you can't really choke him for 6 minutes because you're not performing either one of those chokes that I described. Therefore, neither one of those will be fatal to this person unless they're high on drugs and they have excited delirium and they begin to die on their own accord with any level of resistance against that person and their manic behavior. So I think it's clear as the noonday sun that there was nowhere near an opinion that could be had of Daniel Penny intentionally trying to kill this guy or even being negligent. I mean, the guy was just restraining him till the cops got there. If the police were on the train, we wouldn't be having this conversation. If the police had gotten the opportunity to do their job, we wouldn't be talking about Daniel Penny right now. If Daniel Penny wasn't white and Jordan Neely was black, and we wouldn't be talking about it right now. Have you ever, before I play the clips, because Hawk Newsom, them, and all these black activists swear before God that this is an injustice. Have you ever seen it go to trial or brought up in the news of a white man choking another white man, of a black man choking a white man, of a black man choking a black man. Do you ever see that in the news? Does it ever make national TV? Is there a nationwide verdict being discussed? No, you'll never see it. Do black people not choke other black people? Do white people not get choked by other white people? We know it happens every day. I was a cop, man. People killing each other. Most people that do stuff to each other are the people that are doing stuff to each other within the same race, in the same demographic. It happens all the time. It will never make the news because it's not sexy enough. They can't sell no tickets to two white men getting into it on the subway train. They can't sell no tickets to brothers doing it because listen, two brothers taking each other's life is like waking up in the morning. There ain't nothing to be sold there. It happens every day, all day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Nobody cares. I care. Mainstream media don't care. There's no added value in understanding that. Now, let's get to a couple clips. I think Judge Jeanine Pirro did a really good job at giving her synopsis on this particular topic. We're going to show the clip of Judge Jeanine Pirro, and then we're going to go to these BLM activists, one being Hog Newsom, the biggest grift on planet Earth. Let's roll Judge Jeanine Pirro. Roll it.
In fact, Danny Penny was justified in using that force, and he used less than Jordan Neely did because he threatened imminent, deadly physical force. And you were entitled to use that kind of force, although Danny Penny didn't even know he died. He's speaking to the cops. He didn't even know he died. He thought that apparently that he was unconscious. In the end, what we have here are people demanding justice for Jordan Neely. Let me make one point. The truth is that Jordan Neely was on a list of New York City's most needy, homeless, and mentally ill people in a city of 8 million. He's on a list of 50. He had open warrants for assaulting women on the subway. One senior woman in particular, he had just broken her orbital bone. He had 42 arrests in 7 years. Where were these people trying to help Jordan Neely? But Danny Penny did what all of us would want someone to do if we were on that subway car. And I think that America breathes a sigh of relief today. America now recognizes that we can protect other Americans and not be accused of being vigilantes, that we can be good Samaritans within the confines of the law. And if a jury in New York City can find Danny Penny not guilty, well, then I feel good about the rest of America.
Judge, quick follow-up question. Would it pass constitutional muster, and do you think it's likely for the DO to recharge Daniel Penny?
First of all, it's double jeopardy. Secondly, they shouldn't have gotten involved in the politics of saying, we're going to dismiss the first count of Man 2 in this indictment. Stay out of it. They said that they couldn't come to an agreement. Why all the fancy footwork between the Manhattan DA and the judge? That's not going to happen, because if they can't prove criminally negligent homicide, for sure they're not going to be able to come back with Man 2, and it is double jeopardy.
Boom. I think Daniel Penny can rest tonight with some vodka in his system, knowing that he's free. And I think he should have never been involved in this. And I think Daniel Penny should sue. Daniel Penny should sue. How? They should have never investigated him. This was political. They would have never done this for anybody else. They only wanted a political conversation to be had about a black man and a white man. How do you know, Mr. Tatum, that it was all political? Let's go to the BLM activists. Let's go to Hog Newsom real quick, because that nut job is the one that's the craziest to me. I want you to listen to what he has to say, and this will tell you everything you need to know about the disingenuous nature of these BLM activists. They don't care about Jordan Neely. They never did. I get his dad is now trying to go and sue people civilly and make some money off the death of his son. Where were you at when he was going to jail, when he was homeless, when mama was raising him, and grandma and them raising him? Where were you at? We couldn't find your black behind nowhere. You let your boy out here have to make money acting like he Michael Jackson, and you ain't never been in it. You ain't been in his life enough to protect him from this, and now you want to make money? Don't get me started. I'm gonna lose my salvation on this live stream. Roll this idiot.
Just like everybody else has vigilantes, We need some black vigilantes.
That's right.
People want to jump up and choke us and kill us for being loud.
Hold on.
How about we do?
That's why I don't trust these melanated people. This man said they won't choke us, not Jordan Neely, us. Like, I'm gonna walk out one day and a white man gonna choke me. I'm just riding on the train or something. I'm just gonna get choked because I'm black. Oh, because I'm loud. If the man was just being loud and he got choked, bro, you're not finna get no support from me. You ain't the man being loud. You need to use discretion. But we all know it wasn't just loud. You cannot make threats against other people's lives, and that's considered loud. So, because you black, you get to threaten people's lives. And nobody should take you seriously. But they should take you seriously when you go for a job application. They should take you seriously when you say oppression is real. But they shouldn't take you seriously when you crazy on a train talking about you're going to take the lives of all these people. And you've already been arrested for assaulting people. You heard Judge Janine Pirro say it. Already been arrested for assaulting me. Broke the woman eye orbital. Assaulting women on the train. Bro, you violent. Everybody know he violent. He not the cute little Michael Jackson impersonator no more. He crazy on drugs. Where is his daddy at? Should have been on the subway train protecting his son. But he out there probably being a Rolling Stone. Let's finish the clip.
The same when they attempt to oppress us.
Right.
I'm tired.
Tired.
I know you're looking for us to be like, oh, go and march. Go and march. No. This weekend, I want you to hold a community event everywhere from the Bronx to Houston to Seattle to Florida. Black people, whole community event and talk about what you need.
I can host one. You want me to host one? You need to get your culture right. You need to stop celebrating thugs. That's what you need. Oh, there's more. There's more of these melanated lunatics. Let's go to the BLM protesting outside of the penny verdict.
Wait, Joe, wait, all right, hold on. Get
All right. That's all I need to see. These same people talking about free Palestine and all that. These people are cooking in the same pot. I'm not gonna get on that because I'm talking about Daniel Penny right now. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. I get so sick of these people. I get so sick of these free Palestine people and all these other. Why can't we all see that these people cut from the same cloth? They don't have no values. They're just a running protest. All right, let's get to the riots. The threat of riots. The BLM clip. Roll it.
People who keep asking, are we going to riot? Are we going to protest? Is that what's needed? Do glass have to break? Do cars have to burn for a black man to get justice in America? We can't show up with peace. We can't show up with facts. We can't show up with evidence and witness after witness. You give us nothing. And then you ask us to love this country. America hates black people, and we see it from that jury pool.
America hates black people. A real question for the audience. Do you think that they really believe this? Or do you believe that it is an active grift? It means that they have to build up and adequately obtain or perpetuate this persona to keep black people angry, to keep them donating and protesting and all this other stuff, to keep this victim mentality going? Or do you really think they believe that? Do you really think that they believe that America hates black people? Like, at what point does America hate black people? Do people in America hate black people? Yeah. Do black people hate black people? Yes. I would argue that black people hate black people more than anybody else do. But do black people hate others? Yes. Like, what are we even saying? America, in my opinion, America is not necessarily an individual. America is an idea. America is the idea of freedom. Freedom does not discriminate against anybody. Now, we've had our struggles in the past, and I don't know, I'm not going to go over this because I think you got to be completely stupid for you not to get it at this point, but America went through a process. At one point, certain people in this country were slaves, which was not abnormal at the time. That's like people working minimum wage in a warehouse with no air conditioning. As normal as that is, that's how normalized slavery was way back when. Now we look at it and say it's barbaric. But back then, that wasn't that abnormal. And it didn't start here. It started in Africa, where Africans were enslaving others and selling them over here and all around South America and everywhere in the world. So stop it with it. We had to grow out of that. Times changed, things changed, we grew out of it. And I don't think that somehow we were worse than anybody else. We grew out of it. And then there has to be some growing pains. You can't go from being a slave to just being a regular person in society. It's a growth thing that we had to endure as a country. And we did that. And now the most prosperous black people in the entire world live in America. Richest black man in the world live in America. I mean, legitimately rich, not rich on the back of other people who are slaves still to this day. Not one family is worth $1 billion and then they got a high rise with all these poor people eating out the trash can and skinny and dying of starvation. I don't count that as a rich black man. I'm talking about the per capita economy of black people in the world is concentrated in the United States of America. Why? Because the U.S. loves black people. If you ask me, white people love black people. White people love black people more than black people love black people. Go look at all the black people that are successful. There is a white person in that story that helped them get to that point, trusted them, believed in them, had faith in them, invested in them, and they became successful. There's a white man in every black man's success story. 100%. Find somebody where it ain't. Find somebody where a white man, they give a black man an opportunity to be great. Black people ain't giving each other opportunities like that. You giving people, a white man has given black people opportunities here, and you giving opportunities to black people like this. These incremental growths happen with white people helping black people. It has been this way from the beginning of time. George Washington Carver, you go down the list. So the greatest black people to ever live, partner with a white person to do certain things. How did black people get the right to vote, citizenship and all this? White people. Same thing with women. Women can't clown men and act like they did it all by themselves. Women got rights because men died for those rights. Black people became free because there's white people that died for black people's freedom in large. Because black people died in the Civil War, we know, on both sides. But the majority of the people who lost their lives were white people. All right, we can go on all day about this. We've already addressed it. I think the biggest thing I want you guys to take away from this is that Daniel Penny was acquitted. I don't think they can charge him again for anything. I want to get to Donald Trump's beatdown real quick. I'm going to jump back to Jay-Z after that. I want to get to Donald Trump's interview on NBC. I don't know why they still interviewing Donald Trump on NBC. Because every time they interview Donald Trump, they make him look a lot more sane than I think he probably is. I mean, I don't know. I think Donald Trump's a great guy, but they make him more sane than ever. Why do they do that? It's because they literally called him Hitler. And they said he's a threat to democracy, and they say all these crazy things about Donald Trump to no end. If you did not have sense in your head, you would think he was an evil old KKK member. And then they put him on an interview, and they're like, hey, I actually agree with it. I actually think he's smart. I actually think he's a good person. I actually think he cares about America. Then what happens during the election? They vote for him. The arrogance of these people will be their downfall. Pride comes before destruction. I don't know how people ain't got that yet. Maybe because they don't believe in God. That's on y'all. Y'all the ones screwing that up. Pride comes before destruction. Pride comes before the fall. When you are so proud that you will lie, be deceptive to uphold an image of who you are or to downgrade somebody else's image for your own financial gain, you will not make it far at all. Roll the clip.
Are you going to fire the current FBI director, Christopher Wray, who you appointed?
Well, I can't say I'm thrilled with him. He invaded my home. I'm suing the country over it. He invaded Mar-a-Lago. I'm very unhappy with the things he's done. And crime is at an all-time high. Migrants are pouring into the country that are from prisons and from mental institutions, as we've discussed. I can't say I'm thrilled. I don't want to be Joe Biden and give you an answer and then do the exact opposite.
We're going to talk about
So
that,
I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to say is I certainly cannot be happy with him. You take a look at what's happened. And then when I was shot in the ear, he said, oh, maybe it was shrapnel. Where's the shrapnel coming from? Is it coming from heaven? I don't think so. So we need somebody to straighten. You know, I have a lot of respect for the FBI, but the FBI's respect has gone way down over the last number of years.
Don't you have to fire him in order to make room for Kash Patel if he is, in fact, confirmed?
Well, I mean, it would sort of seem pretty obvious that if Kash gets in, he's going to be taking somebody's place, right? And somebody is the man that you're talking about. You're subsidizing Canada to the tune of over $100 billion a year.
That's one clip. The audio is a little different in the clips, but the first thing he said, he should definitely get rid of Christopher Wray. Christopher Wray has not done a good job in this administration or the other one. I think that was a bad pick by Donald Trump, unbeknownst to him. Maybe he thought Christopher Wray was going to do something. Christopher Wray has not done anything legitimate. Those FBI agents who all compiled their signatures to stop the laptop thing before the election in 2020, I mean, Christopher Wray should have compelled them to resign or fired them. That's a complete failure and lapse of judgment. The fact that Christopher Wray and the FBI have not investigated Joe Biden to any significant measure is insane to me. It's easy for you to indict his son knowing that he will pardon his son. They didn't indict. Think about this for a minute. They didn't indict anybody else significant. The only person that they indicted, equal justice they gave, was to Hunter Biden, which is easy to pass that off as saying, look, we're balanced. Hunter Biden is being investigated just like Trump. Ooh, Hunter Biden got indicted just like Trump did. So that means that the justice system, the FBI, is fair. No, they did that to try to make you think it's fair because they knew he was going to pardon his son. They could gave him 100 million charges. He was going to pardon his son no matter what they did. It's a false sense of equivalence. Roll the clip.
Here, we're subsidizing Mexico for almost $300 billion. We shouldn't be subsidizing. Why are we subsidizing these countries? If we're going to subsidize them, let them become a state. We're subsidizing Mexico, and we're subsidizing Canada, and we're subsidizing many countries all over the world. And all I want to do is I want to have a level, fast, but fair playing field.
Sir, I don't have to tell you this because you've talked about it. It comes at a time when the country is deeply divided. And now you're going to be leading this country for the next 4 years. For the sake of unifying this country, will you concede the 2020 election and turn the page on that chapter?
No. No. Why would I do that? But let me just tell you, when you say the country is deeply divided, I'm not the president. Joe Biden's the president.
But you're going to be the president.
No. I'm not the president. So when you say it's deeply divided, I agree. But Biden's the president. I'm not. And he has been a divider. And you know where he divided it more than anything else, and it probably backfired on him, I think definitely, is weaponization. When he weaponized the Justice Department and he went after his political opponent, me. He went after his political opponent violently because he knew he couldn't beat him. And I think it really was a bad thing. And it really divided our country.
Sir, Democrats have control of the White House now. They didn't in 2020. If they are going around stealing elections, why
when you
didn't
say
they
Democrats have control now
of the White House?
Yeah.
So why didn't they steal this election? Since they have more power now.
Because I think it was too big to rig.
So you won't.
Too big to rig.
To the people who say that you're now directing your Justice Department to investigate 2020 and they want to move on.
Hold on. Can y'all believe that she just asked me that question? It is 2024. It's almost 2025. And she's asking him about 2020. The man has emphatically said that he do not believe it was fair. Most of America that got common sense believe it wasn't fair. His victory in 2024 is an indication that it wasn't fair. I don't know who on planet Earth, unless you're a rhino, I don't know who on planet Earth thinks that 2020 wasn't bizarre. And you, when I say bizarre, you know what I'm saying. 2016 gave him that spanking. You got an N on your report card. You failed out of the class spanking. You cussed your teacher out spanking. They got a spanking in 2016. The man was even more popular in 2020. And somehow, on a fluke, Biden got 20 million more than they did any other year or the previous year. I mean, they went like this. Boop, boop. In the year where Trump is going, boop, boop, boop. But they go boop, boop like this. The guy is the most popular president to ever live, according to what people think, and he can't even run for re-election. The vice president he picked can't even get no votes. You can't have a ticket that's that popular, and the VP can't even compete. Donald Trump flipped almost every county. She still asks him that stupid question. I love what he said. I hope we have that clip when he called. He said, you could be, that's what I love about Trump. He was honest with her. He said, you could be doing so much better than this. Like you got so much more talent than what you're doing. You're partisan. Roll the clip.
I think Pam is going to be great.
Precious resources.
By the way,
is that what you want them to do?
Just so you know, I have the right to do that, but I'm not interested in that.
Oh, you're not. You're not going to do that.
I'm not interested.
Okay.
I have the absolute right. I'm the chief law enforcement officer. You do know that. I'm the president. But I'm not interested in that. You know what I'm interested in? Drilling and getting prices down and stopping people from pouring into our border that come from prisons and mental institutions.
Let me ask you this about
It's
January
amazing.
6th.
I wish you could be you have such potential. If you could be just non-biased, you hurt yourself so badly. I'm telling you, they deleted and destroyed all the evidence. Everyone knows it. And you slough it off like it doesn't mean anything.
No, I'm just saying they deny it. That's all I'm saying.
Kristen, if I did it, you would be standing up in that chair shouting at me. And you know what I'd do? I'd say, you got me. They have done something so illegal. They have a committee sworn to, and because it was so bad, the only reason they did it is because the testimony turned out to be in favor of me. The press.
Okay, here you go. I love that he said that to her. She deserved that reality check. And let me tell you something. When you're genuine, it kind of breaks the guard of some of these people who are being disingenuous to you. Like I was talking to the girl on campus, and y'all saw the video of the black girl, and she was like, America ain't good to me. And I said, you have really nice hair, right? It like, she forgot her whole argument. She wasn't mad at me anymore. It disarmed her a little bit, like, oh, thank you. Just same thing when Trump did this to her. She may be professional enough to not show the camera, but I guarantee you when she go home, she gonna think about what Trump said. He said, he gave her props and said she's really good at her job. And I know that she loves that. And he said, but you're biased. And she know when she sat down to interview this man that she worked for an organization that's completely biased against him, 100%. There's nobody that works for MSNBC or NBC or ABC or whatever these companies that are oblivious to their biased behavior. They write the script every day. They have the fact checkers. They have the directors. They have all these people put in place, and they're being disingenuous, and they know they are because they absolutely hate him. Let's just put this in perspective. Everybody has a level of bias. Even I have a level of bias. I don't report every police incident. I only report the ones where I think police are getting lied on. A lot of the other ones that police doing dirt, I don't do videos on that. Why? Because it's clear they're doing dirt. I don't even have to defend that. They should go to jail. We all know. But when cops get accused of things that they shouldn't, those are the things I focus on. Everything Donald Trump does that's bad, I don't report on it all the time. I'd rather spend my time reporting on the things that I think Donald Trump is doing good that's helping this country. And so you could say, Brandon, you biased. But I tell you the difference between me and anybody else, you call out, you put the stuff out there, I'll call it like I see it. You put Trump out there doing something he ain't supposed to do, I'll call it like I see it. You put a cop out there doing something he ain't supposed to do, ask me to review it, I'm going to call it like I see it. People hated me when I got on Trump earlier last year. Oh, you hate Trump. You turning on Trump, but you selling merch. It's like, no, I'm just being honest, bro. I'm being honest about what I see. All right, keep going.
I can't say treated her unfairly. You know why? Because she's very popular. You would think if the press was unfair, like to me, the press was obviously unfair to me. The press, no president has ever gotten treated by the press like I was. And yet I got more votes than any Republican candidate in history, by far. It's not even close. So you say, what's that all about? The press has to straighten itself out because, honestly, it's lost all credibility. When that can happen, based on the press, I should have gotten no votes, none. And yet I got the highest number ever. And the reason is because I'm able to go on a show, even like yours, even though you're very hostile, I'm able to go on a show like yours. No, you are.
Well, hopefully you thought it was a fair interview. We covered a lot of policy ground.
It's fair only in that you allowed me to say what I say. But, the answers, the questions are, pretty nasty. But look, because I've seen you interview other people like Biden. And
I've never interviewed President Biden. Actually.
When I say you, I'm talking metaphorically.
Okay.
I've seen George Stephanopoulos interview Biden. And he's a tough interviewer. It's the softest interview. I've seen CNN interview him. They give these soft, what's your favorite ice cream? It's a whole different deal. I don't understand why. You would think the press would like to see strong borders, great education, a powerful military, so we have a country left, and all these different things. And somehow they don't want to see that.
Planning to accept a salary as president?
I'm not going to accept a salary, no. And I'm giving up a lot of money, Do you know what amazed me? And maybe this isn't right, but other than George Washington, and they're not sure about that, every president has accepted their salary except me.
And you did accept the pension, correct?
I don't think so.
You didn't accept your pension?
I don't think I accepted anything. I didn't. I get a salary. The president gets about $450,000 a year, and I didn't take it.
I want to ask you again about...
But by the way, I got no credit for that. That's okay.
Well, I am asking you about it for that reason.
Yeah.
And I think it's notable you're not going to accept a salary.
Yeah, I don't accept. I'm not. Yeah. I didn't, and I'm not going to. And I don't believe I got any credit for that. But I just feel it's, for me, it's a nice thing to do. I think this, and I was surprised. Not one president has done that. I would have assumed Roosevelt would have not accepted salary, or Kennedy. Kennedy family is rich.
And I love that he said that too, because it makes him seem and appear more genuine, in my opinion, when he says things like this. Because if I was a multimillionaire, billionaire, I wouldn't accept some $400,000 salary for 4 years. I mean, I guess if you go 8 years, that could be a lot of money. But, when you're a multimillionaire, I mean, Donald Trump is making money from 1,500 different angles. I mean, that little $400,000 a year salary, I don't know, he probably got to pay taxes on it. That little salary ain't finna do nothing for him. That's like Elon Musk getting a salary somewhere for you think Elon Musk getting a salary for being Doge? Well, they can't pay him enough for it to matter. I mean, he probably, wipe his butt with more money than they can pay him on Doge. So some of these people, and I think most of you guys that are watching this is probably average people in America when it comes to earnings. And you just don't know how much money these people have. I like see people that are filthy rich, and some of them I know and they're great people, but they got so much money, it's crazy. They're making millions of dollars a month, and they know how to deviate the system so they're not paying taxes on that money. There's people out here making crazy money, and Donald Trump is one of those people that's making crazy money, and he understands how to not pay taxes on that money and leverage debt. So I love that he said it because it's genuine when he says it. All right, let's get to another thing here. I want to go back to your boy Jay-Z. Let's go to Jigga. Jigga who? Jigga what? Jigga finna be in jail. Nah, just play. Jigga finna get jigged. Now, so Jay-Z is being accused. These are allegations. Obviously, anybody that's being accused of something is innocent. In the court of law, a criminal offense, you're innocent until proven guilty. The same thing when it comes to civil infractions. When somebody's suing you civilly or they're approaching you civilly, it is fair to believe that the person is innocent until somebody can bring some evidence. And in a civil case, I believe it's the preponderance of evidence. That means that you have majority of the evidence on your side. But it's a pretty strong accusation. Jay-Z, as you all know, is a billionaire. He's one of the richest black men to ever live. Just so y'all know, his household is probably the richest black household to ever exist because Beyonce is also worth billions of dollars. But these dudes messing with Diddy could possibly have gotten themselves in something that they cannot overcome. I don't know who did it. I don't know if God is just saying enough is enough and I'm finna expose these people. They've been cutting up too long and Jay-Z been playing with God a whole bunch of times. You know, bringing him up in songs, acting like, calling himself Hove, like Jehovah, like he's playing with Jesus. I mean, you keep playing around and maybe, just maybe, God said, you ain't playing with my son no more. I'm finna expose all y'all. They're out here talking about they believe in Jesus and they Christians and all this other stuff. Well, Beyonce talking about she a Christian. These people out here allegedly sacrificing, doing blood, flesh offerings and all kind of crazy stuff. Then their music is trash. Sucking and doing this and twerking and bouncing it and all kind of stuff. And many of you guys, especially if you're not in the rap, you don't remember Jay-Z's music. I do. I used to listen to Jay-Z. I used to listen to all them dudes. I loved rap music. Some of y'all don't know how they used to rap before they became mainstream. How they used to talk about selling drugs and doing crime and all that stuff. And now they mainstream. They make little songs for your kids to dance to at the club. But these people used to do. Diddy used to talk about stuff he used to do in his music. I mean, one big thing some of y'all may know or may not know is 3 6 Mafia. Do y'all know what 3 6 Mafia is? Anybody know 3 6 Mafia? Y'all don't know 3 6 Mafia. Anybody listen to rap know what 3 6 Mafia is? 3 6 Mafia, when they became popular, they started making music about rapping. And I mean, you know, they start rapping about like, I don't know, club stuff, making club music. Most people don't know that 3 6 Mafia used to worship the devil. And they used to make songs worshiping the devil. Their entire brand was worshiping the devil. That's why they call 3 6 Mafia. Crunchy Black and them. You go back and look at 3 6 Mafia way back then. They would literally worship the devil in their songs. And then they became mainstream. They changed it up, and everybody liked 3 6 Mafia and all them. And they're not good people, or at least they weren't. I don't know. Some of them got saved. I think Project Pat got saved. Project Pat. Somebody said Project Pat in the comment section. Project Pat got saved, I think. But some of these other ones, they were worshiping the devil. But let's play this little clip of let me just say his accusations. Maybe they'll cover it on here. But he's been accused of allegedly graping a 13-year-old girl in the year 2000, along with P. Diddy. She claimed that she was drugged and taken advantage of by Jay-Z and P. Diddy. Roll the clip.
NBC News was the first to report that Jay-Z is being accused of raping a 13-year-old girl at a party back in 2000.
Tonight, NBC4's Camilla Rambaldi is in our newsroom with more on the new lawsuit. Camilla.
Jonathan and Kathy, the accuser in this civil lawsuit is only being identified as Jane Doe. The suit was initially filed back in October in New York. Sean Diddy Combs was listed as a defendant. Jay-Z's name was added to the lawsuit that was refiled today.
Bombshell allegations Sunday against Jay-Z. A civil lawsuit is accusing the rapper, whose legal name is Sean Carter, of allegedly raping a 13-year-old at a house party in New York with Sean Diddy Combs after the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000. NBC News was the first to break the story. The lawsuit was filed by Texas attorney Tony Busby, who also represented socialite Rebecca Grossman, the woman convicted of second-degree murder in a crash that killed 2 boys in Westlake Village. Here's entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas.
So there's no telling what other bombshells and allegations are going to be coming out when it comes to Sean Combs, either against him or naming other celebrities. And I think that, all we can do is continue to stay on the story. And I think that it's not just Busby. There are other attorneys filing these civil complaints. And also keep in mind that New York prosecutors, they are still in that grand jury process trying to bring a superseding indictment against Combs. So that could mean more criminal charges.
A statement from Carter Sunday, which also included personal accusations against Busby, reads in part, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case." The statement goes on to say, "My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down."
I think what's significant is that Jay-Z is coming out swinging. He's a private person. He doesn't do interviews often. He doesn't make statements often.
Attorneys for Sean Diddy Combs also releasing a statement. It reads in part, "As his legal team has said before, Mr. Combs has full confidence in the facts and the integrity of the judicial process. In court, the truth will prevail that Mr. Combs never sexually assaulted or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor." Here's entertainment attorney Jonathan Handel on whether this civil lawsuit could become criminal.
And first-degree rape in New York does not have a statute.
He's going to get to an important part. Let me let him finish. Roll it.
To a limitation that you can look back as far as necessary. There's a real possibility and a likelihood that the authorities will investigate a potential criminal case here. And if they're able to develop evidence that seems to them to be sufficient, there is a significant possibility.
Now, let me stop him right there. That's the one thing that I want to be fair with this on both sides, right? Could Jay-Z possibly have been involved in this? It's a possibility. I mean, these are alleged charges. Somebody could be lying and somebody could be telling the truth. I don't know. I wasn't there. He was there. I don't know if the girl was there, but if she was there and this really happened, I hope to God that he go to prison for the rest of his life if he did somebody like this, especially when they gaslight and lie. There could be a possibility that this girl lying. There is a financial incentive here, right? They got Diddy, and so they can just go after all these other people and make these outlandish claims. And in order for them to save their reputation, they pay these people money. The question is, why would you go civil and not criminal? The gentleman just mentioned there's no statute of limitations when it comes to a minor being assaulted. And if the minor was assaulted in 2020, that was 24, 25 years ago, or, it's about to be 25 years ago, 20 years ago or so, the person can file for criminal charges. If they believe there's no evidence there, then what exactly do you plan to get from this? So there's two things that I look at. I look at the fact that there could be, in fact, a person lying and embellishing like a lot of these women do in order to get some money and get a payday and blackmail somebody. So Jay-Z could be correct. But also some of the things that I've heard about him, some of the things that have come out about him, I don't know him personally, it makes me think that maybe, just maybe, him and P. Diddy and them were involved in stuff like this. They rapped about stuff like this. Biggie dead now, but Biggie used to say all kind of stuff. He got a song right now. It's in my head. I can't rap it because it got cussing in it. He talk about, and some people when they rap, it's kind of like a comedy skit. It may not be true, but they put it in there to make it juicy. But he talked about his homie that kidnapped kids, and he said, F him and throw him over the bridge. That's what he said. He was saying to his enemies, this is what his homeboy would do to their kids. Screw him and throw him over the bridge in New York. Now, I don't know. Could there be truth to what Biggie said in his rap, or he just made up something? He maybe just made up because it sound cool. But these people be rapping about and saying low-key stuff like this. And we brush it off because the beat sound good, because the lyrics sound good and we dancing to it. But P. Diddy and Jay-Z combined in songs are talking real nasty about what they do to women. And it's crazy because people wouldn't have a problem with Jay-Z rapping about what he do to women, what Diddy rap about what he do to women, even his accusations. But then Donald Trump, who an old man, some woman claimed 45 years ago that he said he grabbed them and they like it. They mad at him. I don't know how he could. And then Diddy and them, they want to give him Oscars and stuff. Maybe not an Oscar, but they want to give him awards. They go to Diddy parties. Trump is a bad guy, but these guys aren't. Okay. Here's another caveat that I see that makes me wonder what this is going to end up being. The accusations against Diddy are pretty steep. It seems to be pretty insurmountable. But if you start snitching, you can start reducing that time. I don't know P. Diddy, but according to rumors that have gone on in the industry, P. Diddy don't seem like he will go down by himself, right? He'll snitch on people. He seems like he a person that don't care. Some people say he has something to do with Pac losing his life and Biggie. Some people say he a kingpin. He the plug in the industry. Nobody can get past Diddy. It's what it's alleged. But we shall see. How many of you guys think, write in the comment section, that Jay-Z is guilty of this? Just an opinion. I mean, we don't know. How many of you guys think Jay-Z did this, and how many of you guys think that this is another person throwing out accusations that really don't mean absolutely anything? So write that in the comment section. I wanted to talk about something else, but I got to run here in a minute. I'm going to go on Laura Ingram's show and talk about Daniel Penny, which I think is appropriate because we started out defending him, and I would love to get on TV and make it very clear that I don't think not 1 minute that dude should have been in the position he was in. 2 things left. One thing, I want to talk about the UnitedHealthCare guy. They found, or allegedly found, the guy who was responsible of taking his life. Do we have a clip on that? It doesn't say it here, but let's play the clip real quick. Roll it.
Law enforcement sources tell ABC News police in Pennsylvania are questioning a man in connection to the murder of UnitedHealthCare's CEO. This comes as ABC News has obtained new video showing Brian Thompson's killer waiting for him moments before the shooting. Our senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky is here with the latest. Aaron, what are you hearing about this man being questioned now in Pennsylvania?
The NYPD is sending detectives to Altoona, Pennsylvania now, Diane, hoping to get involved with this lead. I'm told that the authorities have taken this person into custody. We don't have an ID on him, but they've taken him into custody for questioning in connection with the shooting death of Brian Thompson. One suspicion that the authorities appear to have, this person who's now in police custody in Pennsylvania has a gun that is similar to the weapon that was used to kill the UnitedHealthCare CEO, according to law enforcement sources. So they are now questioning this person. The NYPD is on its way, hoping that this is going to be a significant break in the case, but we just don't know yet.
And could be especially significant given this wasn't just a regular handgun that you might expect to be used in a crime like this.
It was a distinctive gun. It's bolt action, which means it has to be manually cycled. Then the long barrel makes the police think that this is some type of veterinary weapon, perhaps used on farms or ranches. Not what you might see in an assassination-style killing. So they've been very focused on the gun. They have not found the murder weapon yet, I'm told. So if this is the case, this could either just be a guy has a similar gun, and that's it, or it could be something else.
And talk to me about this video that ABC obtained, because you say it shows this suspect, whoever he is, clearly waiting for Thompson.
And this is why police came out right away and said this was a targeted thing, because the video shows him loitering around the Hilton Hotel. Other people go by, and he's unbothered. Only when Brian Thompson comes into his view do you see him scooting across 54th Street, approaching from behind and opening fire. So the authorities have asked for patience here, Diane. Even with a killer on the loose, they do not believe there is a danger to the public at large.
All right, so there's a lot of things here. I mean, maybe the capture of this guy kind of ruled out my theories, a few of my theories. It may just been a disgruntled person who's an activist that's decided to take this man's life. There's a lot of mixed emotions here. Like, some people think it's justified, right? Some people think that it's justified that this guy did it. Now, I want to be very clear that this is alleged. This is a person that they're speaking to. This may not even be the person. So this young man didn't have nothing to do with it, and people blasted him like he guilty. I'm not that guy. I don't know. They got to do an investigation. But this is allegedly the person that they brought into custody. You got the other picture? I guess he had a picture with his shirt off. And people, fawning over the guy. He going to be one of these Ted Bundy, I think, which one of them was a good-looking guy, allegedly? Now, who's the one was the serial killer that was actually like a good looking guy? I forget who would it. Some of y'all know. Some of y'all probably know. It was one, and then women crazy. Girl pen paling them in prison. They sending them panties and stuff, lusting after the guy. They a crazy, the deranged killer, man, and they doing that. So I guess this guy gonna be the next one. They gonna be fawning all over him, sending him postcards and stuff while he's on trial. Was it Jeffrey Dahmer? I think. No, it was Ted Bundy or Jeffrey Dahmer. No. It was one of these crazy ones. Was it Charles Manson? I got to pull it up. I guess the guy was like a model. Like he looked like, that's why people didn't think that he was a killer. You know what I mean? He was like a good looking guy. Somebody said Ted Bundy. Bring that clip up, Nick, so the girls so I can see how many of y'all in the comment section crazy as two left shoes. So I guess he had a picture of him in the wilderness somewhere with his shirt off with a six pack. And just so you know, Nick in his dream, he had a body like this in his dream. It actually was a nightmare, I guess. But anyway, this is another picture that somebody said it was him. So now you know girls gonna be all over the guy, even though he a cold-blooded killer, allegedly, right? I don't know if this is the guy. He looked like he got his whole life ahead of him. According to some of the stuff that we researched, he was very, very well educated. I mean, do we have that in here? Huh? Yeah, but is his stuff in here? So he went to Penn. He graduated from Penn. He seemed like a decent guy. I mean, from what they were saying, and I guess he got caught up in climate activism or something like that, and he felt like he needed to kill a guy. Let me just give my opinions on killing somebody over stuff like this. I'm just saying, I don't think this is the right approach ever. You're never going to get the results that you believe. If you think the healthcare system is messed up, then you need to have a legislative approach to it. Therefore, the people that believe in it gets in the office and they make a difference. Or you become a person in political position of power and you make a difference. You go and kill the CEO of UnitedHealthCare, they just going to get another CEO that's going to rip y'all off like you think you getting ripped off before, and they're going to rip you off more so he can have private security. If they're making money ripping you off, they're going to keep making money. The thing is, you need to change the system. And here's my approach. I think that everybody that's intentionally ripping people off should be brought to justice. When I say justice, it may not be against the law, but I hope that God punish people who are intentionally hurting other people through greed. I hope that you reap what you sow. With that being said, people got to stop acting like it's the healthcare system problem that you fat and you overweight and you disgusting. Listen, I smoke my cigars. If my cigars is what take me out of here, I ain't blaming nobody but myself. I went and got life insurance. I got X amount of dollars. I ain't going to tell y'all the number because I don't want nobody trying to kill me and take my wife and my money. But I could have got double if I wasn't smoking cigars. That was a choice I made. I may just quit for a little bit and then get it fixed. Maybe I'll quit forever. You know, maybe I just won't smoke so I can get my life insurance doubled. But with that being said, that's my choice. If you going and eating Little Debbie cakes every day, don't get mad because you can't afford health care. You probably should be going outside, exercising, getting sunlight. You're on the internet anyway. How about you look up things that can help you become healthier? Vitamin D, B12, stuff that your body don't necessarily produce. You need to get it from the sun and get it from natural resources. You're eating candy all day. How is that going to help you? And then you're in the hospital all the time and your bill's crazy. You got 45 pills that you got to take. That's your fault. You can't get mad at the healthcare system because you got to run it up because you don't take care of your body. Now, there are times where they screw people. I get it. Be mad at them screwing you. You know, like people with that. Listen, I respect anybody. But somebody that got type 1 diabetes versus type 2 diabetes, those are two different people. I think we should be very clear about that. A person with type 1 diabetes cannot control the fact that they have diabetes. I don't know how insulin ain't free. Insulin should be free to type 1 diabetics. They can't control it. It's crazy to me. So that's just my opinion. My wife is type 1 diabetic. So that's why I feel some type of way. It's like she was a little kid. She was type 1 diabetic. She can't control it. No matter how much she work out and nothing she do, it ain't gonna change it. But type 2, man, y'all type 2 because you them ribeyes. I mean, they ain't even ribeyes. I ain't gonna say no ribeye. Y'all eating yams and all kind of other stuff. I know it's good. I love eating bad food, but at some point I got to look in the mirror and say, "Hey, bro, you gotta slow down, bro. Don't be getting mad because you at the hospital every 5 minutes because you got cholesterol and all that. Y'all doing that. Y'all doing that. Have some self-respect for yourself. Walk outside and walk in a circle if you got to. Y'all can sit up on that internet and tell me who win in the playoffs, but you can't get on the internet and put together a healthy diet. Come on. Y'all get mad at me all you want. Don't be mad at me then. Chicken nuggets ain't gonna take you to heaven. Okay, I want to do one last thing before I get off here because I got to get on the news. I want to do these NCAA brackets real quick. So if you're a sports person, if you ain't a sports person, get off here. Hold on, before you leave, let me do this and then I'm gonna let y'all go. I want y'all to support our fundraiser to help these young people, and we actually going to a prison fellowship event tomorrow to go to the women's prison here in Arizona and see more of what prison fellowship does. But I want you guys to help us get across the finish line. We're at 2,000 kids that we're able to serve, and we want to get to 4,000. So we're halfway there. All you got to do, $30 per kid. If you want to help, and it shows it right here, you want to help 5 kids, it's $150, 10 kids, $300. I know most of y'all got something to give, right? You have something. If you feel like you ain't got it and it's going to hurt your feelings to give, don't give. God can't bless you when your heart ain't in the right spot. But if you want to give and you're passionate about it and you feel like you want to do something for somebody else, this is your opportunity to be a blessing. $30 gets a kid a personalized letter from their parent who's incarcerated. It gets them a gift of their choice, and then they also get a Bible. Let's do this thing. Already, we're serving 2,000 kids. Our goal is to get to 4,000 and beyond. If we can do more, we can help more than 4,000 kids, let's get it. We put the link in the description section, and we put the link pinned in the comment section. Give anything that you can, whether it's $1, whether it's $1,000. I gave $5,000. Well, my guy gave $5,000. I matched his. And for anybody that give $5,000, we're going to do something special for you. One thing I was thinking about doing is if you can give $5,000 and match what we gave, that we're going to get you a trip out here to Arizona and feed you and take care of you. All right. So if you can give $5,000 to match what we did, that'll be a blessing. If you can't, you can still give and bless somebody else. All right. Love you guys. Appreciate it. Let me do these brackets real quick because I need to get this off my chest. All right. And then I got to go. Let's talk about college football real quick for all my football fans, because I know some of y'all want to hear me talk about this. This is the craziest I've ever seen. When I look at these brackets, boy, and the one that hurt me the most is ASU. I want to cut my leg off so ASU could make it in here, but I couldn't. My wife told me no. But when you look at this, I think the team that got screwed over was clearly Alabama. The Mustangs haven't played anybody of any real significance enough to lose to people of significance, right? It's easy to win when you're not playing nobody. The fact that Alabama knocked off Georgia should tell you that Alabama is incredibly competitive, and they should have gotten it over SMU. Let me tell you why SMU is here. SMU is here because Alabama didn't do what it takes to get the popularity up enough. Everybody that know about SMU, they had a 20-year downturn because they had some illegal stuff that they did in the 80s, and now they're back. There's a great possibility that SMU can upset Penn State, go on to beat the brakes off of Boise, and then end up playing somebody here. Now, they're going to lose here because I think Georgia going to merge, and then they're going to get spanked right here. But at least it's a good, cute story, and you can sell some T-shirts and jerseys and advertisement. The way I see this playing out is that I see Tennessee knocking off Ohio State, playing against Oregon, Tennessee beating Oregon, Tennessee advances. We're going to do this at the job. I see Texas beating the brakes off of Clemson. Texas, I'm going to call 911 for what Texas is going to do to ASU, and then it'll be Texas, Tennessee right here playing in the third round, or whatever you want to call it. And then you go here. Oh, yeah, it's one more bracket. So the semifinals. And then you go here. I think that Notre Dame will beat Indiana, go on to play Georgia, and get smoked like a blunt. So Georgia's going to be here. I do think that there's a possibility that SMU can end up here. Georgia goes on to play University of Texas. That's what I think will happen. And then I think that Georgia will beat Texas and go on to win the national championship. My only other theory that could happen here is that SMU can go on. Penn State can go on here. Penn State will lose to Georgia. That's the only difference. Georgia will still make it here. But here's the other scary thing. ASU could mess around and beat Texas, and ASU will end up here. If ASU gets here, ASU will end up here. It'll be ASU, Georgia, and then there will be a homicide, and then Georgia would end up winning. You think ASU could beat Oregon to get there? I think ASU will beat Oregon. If ASU could beat Texas, they could beat Oregon. So if ASU can somehow emerge from that position, they'll beat anybody here. And then they go to Georgia, and then Georgia is going to commit an 0101. Georgia is going to commit trafficking of football teams on y'all. And let me not play with that now. Anyway, I would love to hear in the comment section what y'all think is going to happen here. I got to get going here soon. So I love you guys. I appreciate it. I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm out.
Oh, the land of the free.